What's going on, y'all? I am back once again, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a slot car in Roblox Studio in 2025 of May. And it is pretty easy, honestly. It might not be as hard as you think, and I've been doing this for quite a few months, so take my word for it, it is not as hard as you may think. It does take a lot of time, but it's like really easy to get used to, and there is quite a long process to it, but it will be worth it in the end if you want your own functional slot car. And before we get started, make sure to check out my other content. I do a lot of other Roblox content, specifically on Greenville, and I've played some of the horror games and such, so make sure to check out my channel. We are also trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before June of 2025, which is my graduation. And yeah, with all that being said, let's get right into the video. Alright, so first things first, we want to get the most important part, which is of course the chassis. So what you want to do is you want to go into the toolbox and you want to search up A-chassis and hit enter, and then you want to look for a chassis 6C version 1.5. It's specifically 1.5, not 1.6.5, not just car chassis, not 1.2. You want to look specifically for 1.5. That is what we're gonna do, and if you do any other chassis that is not 1.5, it will not work. So just do this one by NVNA, and this is just like the bare bones chassis. You can drive it right here. It's gonna be on. There's a default sound. And then yeah, so it just drives like a regular car, and you can also change the gauges. You don't need to have these gauges. You can have different ones, and I will show you in a second. You can just customize all of this. And just for reference, so let me get into my SF90 right here. You can put like a proximity prompt right here, so you can press enter to drive. And then you have different gauges right here and different controls, and you have like a little stat sheet right here, and you have key buttons as well, rev limiter and working gauges as well, overall working steering wheel, speedo, it's just, you know, everything. And you can also add working doors, working hood, and yeah, it's just overall really nice. You can have running lights, low beams, high beams, brakes right there, and indicators. So you can do pretty much everything that a regular car in real life can do. You can even have steering animations, so I will be teaching you how to do all of this. So first things first, if you want your car to have a custom ignition, or you don't want it to run as soon as you get inside the car, where right here where it says auto start, you want to highlight that and you want to set it to false, and then it should appear yellow. That means you did it right, and that is what you want to do if you want a custom ignition plugin, which I will also show you how to do. And then where it says load delay, this is like how long it takes for your car to fully load in and initialize. I'd recommend putting it to 1 second just because it's way faster and it's just less annoying. And then auto flip you want to keep on, and then here's the wait. So, and pretty much all the rest of this is just like real life specifications that you can put on your car. Like you got all-wheel drive right here, you got semi-automatic, you got manual, auto, you got stall options, you got your gears right here, you got ABS enabled, you got traction control enabled as well right here. And yeah, so pretty much everything. Your horsepower figures, you can make your car electric, pretty much everything you can imagine. And I'm not going to go through all that, I'm just going to show you how to put it up on the chassis. But there's also suspension, and right here where it says tune custom suspension density, where it says 0.01, I'd make that 1, and that's going to drive a lot better, trust me. It's going to fit to your gravity a bit more. And what I'd recommend putting for gravity, if you want your car to like drive really well, is I'd recommend putting it to 140, and the default is like 196 or something. So I'd put it to 140 if you do want the best driving experience. And yeah, it's pretty simple as that. And now let's get to the most important part, which is actually putting a car onto the chassis. So let's get right into it. Alright, so once you find a car that you do want to put onto the chassis, it has to be fully in a group like this, so everybody inside the car, it's just got to be all grouped up like this. So once you find a car that you want to put, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use a Skoda Octavia. And the first thing you want to do is you want to copy the origin right here under the properties. So if you scroll down a bit, go to one where it says origin. Do not go to world pivot. That's where like the pivot part is going to be, like where this thing right here is with like all the arrows around, just like how you grab it. Do not do that. Just always go to origin, and then you want to click on your car that you want to put on there, and then it should automatically highlight it for you. Same thing as how we copied it, and you want to paste it into there, and then boom, you have it kind of in place of your car chassis. And then you can also use the move tool to kind of move it up a bit and just adjust it. And then you also want to like kind of move the wheels around. Don't be afraid to touch them, they won't like do much. Just gotta move it into place as so, respectfully. and you also can move this fitment as well, just like, you know, make it all fitted and nice looking. And if you need to upscale the wheels, you can. So go under A chassis right here and click on wheels, and then go to the scale tool, and you can make the wheels bigger like this. But this is super important to know, is that if you do scale your wheels at all, you want to go under wheels, and you want to go under one of the wheels, and then you want to go to suspension geometry right here, and you want to scroll down to near the very bottom, and where it says scale, you want to make sure this is always 1. If it's not 1, then your car is going to be super buggy, and it's going to sag if your wheels are too big, and it's just going to drive like crap. So it's going to be pretty awful. So you want to make sure it's all at 1. And if you want to do this way quicker, just click the arrow next to all of these, and then click on suspension geometry, hold control, and then select the other ones so you can do multiple at once. And then you want to make all of those 1, and boom, you are all set. Just a precaution, and make sure you always do that, otherwise your car is just not gonna be good at all. And then you can just set the wheels back to how they were, and then do the fitment and all that. So pretty easy, pretty light work stuff. Nothing too much to worry about. It's just like all about the positioning. So yeah. All right, and once you have your car aligned with the wheels, you want to take the car, and then you want to put it under body in A chassis. You don't want to put it under A chassis. You don't want to have it right here. You want to have it under body, or else it is not going to work out. So you just want to have it like that. And then where it says engine and exhaust, you just want to put the engine block to where like the engine would be in the car, of course, and then exhaust, as you can guess, would be where the exhaust is on the real car. And this model doesn't have an exhaust, so I'm just gonna make one up right here, and boom, it is pretty easy like that. And all the other bricks you don't have to worry about. It's pretty much just like, you know, for whatever. And then once you have all that taken care of, and then if you want to put actual wheels on your car, you're gonna have to go to one of the wheels that you want to put a wheel on. So like I'm gonna do the front left wheel first. So I want to click on front left, or FL, and then scroll down, and then go to where it says transform, and you want to go to where it says C frame position, and then you want to copy that. You just want to press Ctrl C, and then click on the wheel that you want to put on your car, and then scroll down, and then right here where it says origin, you want to paste it into here, into these coordinates, and boom, you have your wheel right there. This is to make sure that it's just like fully aligned, because if your wheel is not aligned with the wheel on the chassis, it will wobble, and it will be offset, and it will just look very, very ugly. So you want to make sure it's perfectly in place, and then you want to use the scale tool and just scale it to where it's barely touching like the outside of the wheels on the chassis. So you want it to be about like right there, because if you have it too big, then it is going to clip through the ground and it won't look nice. And if you have it too small, it's just going to like kind of float and levitate. So you want to do it like right here. You want to find the sweet spot just where it like barely borders the wheel on the actual chassis. And once you have that done, then you can just move this a bit outward so you can fix your fitment just like that. It won't affect your actual wheels or anything. It's just for looks mostly. And then you want to put this under FL, and then you want to put this under parts. This is super important to know. Put this under parts, and then I'm just going to label it as wheel, just so you know, to avoid any bugs. And then you want to Control D and then Control R 2 times, and that's going to rotate it to where it's going to be on the other side. You don't have to do the copy and pasting again. You can just do it like this, as so, and then fix your fitment, and then boom, now you have your right wheel. And then you just want to take it from the left wheel and then put it under parts. That's how I do it. Easiest tactic in my opinion. And then just do the same for the other back wheels. Alright, and once you have your wheels all nice and set up, you just want to select all of them. You want to click on the top one, and then hold shift, and then click down right here, and then you can select all the wheels. And then where it says transparency, it's at 0.5. You want to scale that up all the way to where it says 1. That way your wheels don't have like a little black cylinder hovering over them, and they can be fully clear. So there you go. Now you have your car all nice and set up right there, and it's just as easy as that. And then you can also position your drive seat to where you want it. So it's kind of like right in the middle for default. So you just want to move it to the drive seat, and then move it forward, just get it nice and accurate, and then you can drive your car like it's normal. And then if you do want driving animations, like steering animations, what I use, it's gonna be a little cheeky. I'm gonna go and put in battle spec into the toolbox search bar, and you want to click the one right here by cars 22237. You want to inside it. you want to insert this in, and it is not a virus or anything. I promise me, this is where I got the script from. It is not a virus. And then you want to click under it, and then right here where it says drive seat, you want to click that, and you want to go to where it says drive seat scripts. You want to click and hold, and then you want to move it and keep holding it, and then you want to put it under the drive seat of your car, into the drive seat. So make sure it's right here. Don't ungroup or anything, you know, like ignore all of this. You just want to keep it right there and not do anything with it. What I am going to do though, just to be safe, is remove despawn car. That's what I do on my own slots. So yeah, it's just a little precaution, and then you can get rid of this. This is just like purely for that folder. And yeah, that's how you get the driving animations on your car. And another thing that you could do is you want to go into a chassis, and then you want to scroll down a bit, and where it says aesthetics, you want to see where it says sus visible, and you want to put that to false. This is just going to hide your suspension and make it to where it's not visible, because if you have it visible, it's just going to see a bunch of purple and green blocks, and it's going to look pretty odd. So you can set that to false, and that is all you guys gotta do. And then real quick, before we do go and test out our car, what I will recommend doing, especially if you're planning to like make a game with your friends, is searching up collide in the toolbox and then clicking anti-collide right here by Re2ZH, and you want to click on that, and then it should show anti-collide and anti-collide car, and you want to drag this and you want to put it into where your car is, into the chassis, and that's just going to make it to where your car can go through other cars and it won't collide or anything. So now we can click play, and we can finally test out our car. So it shouldn't be sagging or anything, it should not fall through the ground, it should just be stable like this. And then the suspension is not visible, nothing is out of place, it's not floating, perfect fitment right there. So let's get right into the car, and here we go. And this is what the drive seat script does. It just, you know, makes it to where you have arms on the steering wheel and whatnot, and then you can press F to turn on the car and then rev it, and then your car should be moving just like this. And you see the wheels aren't wobbling or anything, they're perfectly aligned. And yeah, it's just perfect. You have a working, functional car right here in front of your eyes. So if you do want to know how to put lights on your slot car and how to do other stuff such as new cameras and gauges and a working steering wheel like in my Ferrari, and working doors as well, I will do a part 2 on the slot car tutorial. So far this is just how you put your car on a chassis and how you make it drive, just like the bare bones basics. It's really easy. Make sure to like and sub. Again, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers before June of 2025. And yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you later.